slider to strike out.
But he's been absolutely rolling since. At least getting 5, no problem. Even some starts he's gotten 6, 7.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show.
We are in the house, Dueling Aces, episode 20. In celebration episode 20, my man Wade has figured out how to get us streaming live. So thank y'all for watching. We are fired up, ain't we, man? Boom.
Man.
What's going on your way?
Man, having a good day. Members had a great day yesterday. Went 4-1. Had another fantastic week last week. Profited over 5 units. 20 to 25 weeks now are profitable for our members, man. So I can't be happier, man. In a good place right now. How about you?
Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm proud of you, brother. I was actually keeping up with you over the weekends. I don't bet really on the weekends, so I was just kind of tuning in, seeing how you were doing. I think you're up over 90 units now for the year, right? Holy smoke, Wade. Just killing it, man. He's hitting Wade's throwing that fastball on it, man. I love it. It's awesome.
Man. Yeah, no,
it's good too, man. Went 2-1 last night. Was good. Last week was just a bad week for me, but overall, man, still rolling pretty well. MLB season up a ton. And have actually went back and did a little fact checking here. We've won 4 straight months over on ewatchbet.com and bettorsinsider.com. And that a losing month since January. So if we can keep that rolling, June's kind of right there on the border. I think we're only up like 4 units in June. It's kind of been 50-50, but May was insane. We were up 22 units in May. So expected to come back down to earth a little bit, but still rolling though, man. Still taking your advice. I'm leaving sides alone for the most part. Did get a nice series bet winner though with the Bravos over the Yankees. I love seeing that, dude. Woo! That was nice. But yeah, all is well, my friend. All is well. Just fired up about today's episode, and as always, looking forward to your best bet later on. So.
Yeah, man, I'm kicking myself. When we got off the show on Friday, I meant to take that bet.
The
series one. I got distracted doing something else and never got back to it, man. And I knew they were going to win that series too. Great call, plus 115, I believe it was. I think we're going to have to start looking into that market a little bit because that's very nice, especially if you can figure out who's the pitching matchup's going to line up. I think that's a really good market.
Yeah, totally agree, man. I started playing around with the numbers a couple weeks ago, and I always like to back test some stuff, look at the data, and then kind of just look how it would have done over the last month or two before I just jump in and bet it. And I'm like, man, because the sides are real volatile game by game. But I'm like, man, if I can do, bet on a team for the series, I feel a lot more, feel a lot better about it long term as far as your edges fleshing themselves out over a 3-game series than I do in just a single game. Because we know it, man. Closers blow games all the time. Bullpens get lit up, or even a solid starter sometimes just have a bad start. And you're like, dang, man, I can't believe that loss. We had all the statistical edges. But I think over a 3-game set, especially if you're getting a decent price, I think it might be a good one to look into. It's one I'm going to exploit at least once or twice a week here going forward, as long as they keep winning. So.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where I know a lot of people yesterday were on the Braves money line, and then when you know it, Lance Lynn comes out and shuts them down for over 7 innings, I believe. So, I mean, that's why it's money lines are tough. If you're somebody that's out there that's good at it, that's fine. But my experience and people that I know, when they end up doing money lines and totals, they just end up going on a roller coaster ride. Up, they'll have a good week, down week, good few days, bad few days. And it's just not as consistent for me. So I'm not trying to push you off that edge, man. But I think what's working for you right now is the props. And I think you've been seeing that the books just don't have a great handle on there's just too many props for them to get these lines accurate. I think they know that a majority of the sports bettors still out there like to have action on the games because people like to watch the games and have something on it. And I think that's still kind of the classic bet. So I think they probably put more of their power behind making sure the game lines and run lines and the totals are as tight as possible. And when you've got thousands of different types of props, there's no way they can have these lines. So I guess it's all about finding the lines that you think they've missed on.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. A guy I talk to quite frequently that bets for a living and has for decades, his rule of thumb is always you can gauge how comfortable the books are with something by two things. One, what's the max bet they'll take in any given market? So like on a side, they'll pretty much take anything, An NFL side, you can literally bet as much as you want on an NFL side. If you bet it, on a Sunday hour before kickoff, go to some of the offshore books, they'll take $1 million bet. They don't care. Try to do the same thing with a prop. No way. They're gonna limit you a prop. A lot of times they'll limit you to a couple $100 on a prop. Reason is they're not confident in it. They don't feel good about it. They're offering it more as a courtesy to anything, which is great for us because we can exploit it. Also, you can tell they're not comfortable with props. Look how volatile the lines move in props. So like you and I've bet several different, whether it's walks, strikeouts, earned runs, whatever it is. We'll bet something in the morning, and a lot of times in the afternoon, that prop we took is moved 40, 50, 60 cents in our favor sometimes, man. Holy smoke. So obviously the line's not efficient, or it wouldn't move that much, right? It never moves that much on a side. So your point's right on, in my opinion, man. They're props are the low-hanging fruit. Now, it's not easy to win. Nothing's easy. There's no free lunches in sports betting, right? No free lunches. But it's a lot easier to win in props as long as you're doing the research, and Wade puts in hours and hours per night of research, guys. As long as you're doing the research, you can win in player props. It doesn't matter the sport. They're soft in any sport. Soft in WNBA even. So.
That's one that I'm seeing a lot of people cash in on. I think we're missing the boat on not being on WNBA on the side note, because everybody that I see that does WNBA does pretty well. So they must really be soft on those lines. But man, they don't have enough. They just don't have enough help. I don't think they don't have enough manpower to stay on top of all these lines. So it's good for us. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. I love it.
Well, let's get in the show, man. Let's chat about these Blue Jays. What is going on, man? This looks like they're officially in the toilet.
That's it. I didn't know how else to say it. They're just in the toilet, man. And I'm shocked. You and I talked off air about this. It doesn't make sense. Their lineup has plenty of weapons, man. I just don't get it. I mean, I think it's a few things. One, it's the division. They're in murderer's row of a division, having to compete with the Yankees and the Orioles. That's tough. But these poor guys, they've lost 7 in a row. They're now 35-43 on the year. My question to you, Big Wade, is in your infinite MLB wisdom, does Toronto do a massive fire sale at the trade deadline? I mean, would they consider unloading, a big time player like Guerrero? Would they consider it at least? Or, I don't know, a few of their other pieces. They already got rid of Kevin Biggio. I know he wasn't a huge piece, but they traded him to the Dodgers a few weeks ago. Do you think that's kind of like, do they get rid of Springer? Do they get rid of because there's going to be plenty of people in contention for the wild card. When do the Jays, do they wave the white flag? I guess is my question to you.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I've actually been poking around online. I've been trying to figure out there's already some writers out there writing about the trade deadline, what they're going to project. And yeah, a lot of them are projecting the Blue Jays to move on from Guerrero. So I'm leaning that way right now. Why not? I feel like, it's almost like one of those, you just need to change the scenery. They need to shake things up. They've had the same team for how long now? It's basically the same batters. I know they brought Springer up there. Hasn't really panned out. I mean, he's been good, but he hasn't really helped them move the needle much. Like you said, they already moved Biggio. I think they're going to be moving on from a couple of these players, and I do believe Guerrero's probably at the top of the list only because he's just one of those players that other teams are going to want. If you look down their lineup, I just don't know who else teams are really going to want to go after. Especially with the trade deadline, teams are really trying to find that player they can add that can get them to the next level, push them over the edge, see them make the playoffs and make a deep run. And he's one of those players. So I think teams would be willing to give up a lot of capital, a lot of young capital, probably some cash just to get them on their team. And maybe somebody will do it if he'd look for maybe a sign future to kind of stay with that team that he trades to. So I think he's going to get traded, man.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. I'd also curious to see if they'll maybe unload some of their pitchers too. Even a guy that's going today and tonight, Kevin Gausman. still elite level stuff. Dogged with some injuries earlier this year, but he looks like he's coming back around a little bit. Would just be curious if they maybe unload him, or even you say Kikuchi. Even he's got a good left arm. They have some pieces that could help some other teams, but I don't know. Don't know how much they're going to be willing. I think it's probably going to be a mix. I don't think they're just going to have a massive fire sale, like I said, but I do think you're right. They're probably going to at least trade one or two pieces. They got to at least get something for these guys, right? Since they're going to be, they're not. I don't even think they're going to have a shot at the wild card. It doesn't look like.
No, I think if I were to say, I was going to say my top three, they're probably going to look to move. It's probably 1 Guerrero, 2 Kikuchi, and I think some teams might be interested in Justin Turner. He's one of those veterans that's had playoff experience that can hit for average, can walk, can take pitchers deep into counts. I don't think they're going to move off Bichette. He's just too good.
Yeah, he's young.
They brought Springer up there and paid him all that money. I don't think they're going to move him. They have a couple young guys, hitters that they brought up. Schneider. I don't think they're going to move off him either. So I really think it's going to be them three. I can't see them moving off Gausman and Bassett. Maybe. I think Barrios is there to stay, but maybe Gausman and Bassett if somebody's willing to give them something. But yeah, they have to move off a couple of these players. They've been in this situation for far too long.
Yeah, I've just looked it up. There's 16 games out of first place, but still, even in the wild card, there's 7.5 games out of a wild card spot. So it's
tough.
Going to be really tough in that division because the Red Sox have been a lot better than people thought they would be. So I think that's hurt Toronto a lot too. Is they're competing with 3 really good teams, and then the Rays aren't too bad. They're right around 500. They're not nearly as good as in years past. But it's a tough division, man. There's no easy outs in the AL East. So, yeah.
I think they may take it. I think they're probably taking this a couple days here at a time. If they can catch fire, win 5, 6, 7 games, they could be right back in the mix. Some of these teams start losing. So we'll see. But, it's that division's tough. We still have the Orioles to win that thing. I hope they can take that from the Yankees, man. I'm excited to see the second half of that whole division because it's going to be I think the Rays are starting to turn on. They've been hitting pretty well. I've taken some props against them recently, and they've been getting pitchers out of there. So I think they're starting to turn the corner. Obviously, their pitching's down a little bit. They're missing McClanahan. I'm not sure who else, but either way, they're just I think they're starting to turn it on a little bit. So, going right from them to the Astros, it's they're starting to nip at the tails of the Red Sox here. So, the wild card getting intense.
It is, man. It's already heating up, and it's like it's late June, but it already feels like this is crunch time for a lot of teams. Houston. They're making me smile here lately. Remember, we did a little sprinkle on them for most team wins in June, plus 1,800 over Caesars. And it looks live all of a sudden. They've won 5 in a row. They're sitting in second place as far as like June wins behind the Red Sox, only 1 game back. But it is a cluster, man. There's 5 teams tied for second. That's okay. I'm okay because Caesars does a dead heat rule, so I'd at least get something if they finish tied. But I think we're sitting okay still. I'm not willing to celebrate yet, but I'm not willing to give up yet either, mainly because they got a quick 2-game series with the Rockies starting today. They should, fingers crossed, win both those games with the Rockies and then have a shot over the weekend.
With the Mets, baby.
Yeah. Well,
they might be able to rip off 5 more wins in a row and go 10 straight here, man. Wouldn't that not be awesome to cash this ticket, man?
I would love it, dude. Nice little mid-season sprinkle would really help my June numbers selfishly.
Hey, they got the guys lined up. They've got Brown going tonight. I know Getty, Mr. Spaghetti's a little wonky there. He likes to walk 4 batters a game, but then you've got Blanco and Valdez lined up against the Mets, man. I know obviously the Mets are scary right now. They're one of the hottest hitting teams, but they go hot and cold. Valdez is one of the best pitchers on the road. I don't know if I had to look back. I don't know if they've seen Blanco yet. He brings some smoke. So I
Yeah.
mean, that might be one of my favorite series to be watching this weekend, only because of this bet, honestly. And it's just two really hot teams right now clashing against each other. So that's probably the
Yeah.
series to watch this weekend. Before we, obviously we'll talk about that on Friday. But
Yeah, it's gonna
yeah,
be. Yeah, it's a great point. It's gonna be a good one. Just imagine if Houston still had Cal Tucker. If he wouldn't have got hurt. I mean, he was having an MVP type of season.
MVP,
I
yeah,
mean, he was
yeah,
rolling and that. But see, they've caught fire even without him, which just shows we always knew the Astros were going to turn it around. You and I called it earlier that their lineup's too good,
yeah.
and like the funny thing was the hitting's not been the problem. It's been the pitching, but now the pitching's finally turned around. Even a guy like Hunter Brown, who we used to make fun of, he's looking great all of a sudden. So I mean, whatever the pitching coach did with him's working, man. So.
I know some people that are on his over outs today. I had to stay off it. We've talked about how bad he is in the past. I know obviously he's been great. He has to be hitting some aggression at some point. The Rockies hit right-hand pitchers pretty well. I know they hit a lot better at home than they do on the road, obviously. I think they're bottom 10, 15 in the league and hitting on the road versus right-hand pitchers. But I think they might be able to get to him today, but we'll see, man. He's been going deep every game, whatever that pitching coach did to him. He may need a raise at the end of the year. That's all I can say.
You ain't lying, man. You are not lying. Yeah, it's something else. Big turnaround for Mr. Brown there. So
yeah, and let's
do the same thing with the spaghetti guy. Maybe we'll give the spaghetti guy a turnaround.
Man, I've never seen anybody. Obviously, I target a lot of walk props.
Yeah.
I know Tyler Anderson's probably my biggest walking guy. He's walked two plus batters in 31 of 38 games. He's walked one batter in 38 straight games. But I don't know if I've ever seen anybody like Mr. Spaghetti, man. He walks 3 every game. He just walked 4 at the White Sox. You have to take it over 2.5 walks every single time.
Why would you walk against the White? Why would you walk anybody on White? So they don't have any. Just throw it down the middle.
Yeah, it's he's one to watch for sure if he's got the right lines. That 1.5 walk line is great. Even taking a gamble on his over 2.5 at like plus 150. It's probably not going to be that anymore because he hits it so often. They may move that thing down to plus 100 at this point to go over 2.5, which is crazy. I mean, it's hard to take an over 2.5 walk, especially when you're talking about a professional pitcher. They shouldn't be walking 3 or 4 batters a game.
No.
But he does, and he still can go deep in games when he walks guys like that. So he'll strike some guys out too. He's just a really tough pitcher to get an eye on. But yeah, they've got their pitching staff's coming around. I hate to talk this good about him because I'm an athletics fan.
Right.
One of my biggest rivals. I'm not a big fan of them at all, but you got to give them props. They're always good. They're always steady.
Yeah.
Got to tip your cap to them at some point, man.
My buddy Boone, if you're watching, what's up, Boone? My buddy Boone calls them the Astros because he's a huge Rangers fan. I'm a Rangers fan also, but it's funny. He calls them the Astros, and the only way they ever won was by cheating, banging on trash cans, and stuff. So
yeah,
no love lost.
Find another way, obviously.
But for the next, what is it? What do we got? The next 5 days left here in June. I am a huge Astros fan because I would really like to win this plus 1,800.
Me too. I'm pushing them. I'm watching every single game. Let's go Astros.
It feels weird. Feels dirty saying it though, don't it? It feels dirty.
It does. It does. Doesn't feel right.
Yep.
But on a sad note, Willie Mays passed away, man.
No,
I know you're a little bit older than me, so you probably have a little bit more at least knowledge into what he really was about, man.
Man, Willie, the say hey kid, man, and it's like he was still before my time, but growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was able to listen to my dad and granddad talk a ton about Willie Mays and just how when he come on the scene, they'd never seen a player that could literally do it all like him. He was the first real legitimate 5-tool player, like they call, like it can hit for power, hit for average, can throw, run, and field. Willie did it all. He's from right down the road from me in Birmingham, so he's an Alabama boy. He was an Alabama boy. But yeah, was the godfather of Barry Bonds. So I mean, there's just lots of roots run deep from Willie. But the best part about Willie, if you look at the old footage, what I loved about watching the old footage of Willie, he's always having a good time. Like he never had a bad day on the baseball field. If he went 0 for 4, you'd never know it because he was just a kid playing ball. And my favorite quote from Mays was, I actually put this in my high school yearbook. His best quote was, "All I ever wanted was to play baseball forever." Yeah, just a simple quote, but it hits the nail on the head about how much he loved baseball. I think he was the greatest of all time. I remember my dad finding an autographed Willie Mays ball at this old card shop back in the day. He bought it for him for a birthday, and I about had a heart attack. I was so excited, So still got that ball around somewhere. I need to find it, but yeah. But he had a good tenure. I guess what was he, 93? I think I saw on
something like that.
But yeah, it's sad for baseball. Always like seeing. I think even in his old age, he was still at some Giants games every once in a while. They'd show him, and that just kind of was fun to see. But yeah, he'll definitely be missed. But yeah, that's tough. Definitely a giant in the game. 660 career home runs back in the day when the ball really was dead. That's saying something.
Yeah, and it's tough that he had to pass right before they did the Rickwood series because I think baseball did a pretty good job of that. One thing I maybe wish they would have done is had that as like the Sunday night baseball game and showcased it a little bit more. They only did that one game really on like TV. I know it was kind of more of just a show to do all the the theatricals and all that, but I think they should have made that a key series all weekend. Had that on ESPN, all 3 games. That was pretty special to watch. I don't know if you got to catch any of that.
Yeah, I did. I watched that whole game. It was great. I love that they did the interviews with Bonds and a few other players. Big Papi was on there, and sad stuff, but pretty cool legacy for sure.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things, man. You gotta respect the ones that came before. I think all the major league players probably looked up to him. He's one of the best players of all time. Yeah, he's gonna be missed, man. Yeah, he's gonna be missed.
For sure.
Let's get to today's best bets, man. Let's cheer everybody up a little bit after that sad note.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's find some cash.
I absolutely love your look today. We were looking. Obviously, we have the sheet we make up every day for the show, and I was not expecting this from you. Actually, I was waiting to see what pitcher prop you were going to throw out. And man, this one caught me off guard, but I love it.
Well, you're not the only one, brother. I appreciate the kind words. It caught me off guard too. And I'll be honest, when I'm trying to get in the habit, of checking these series prices. And yesterday I did it. Had a whole sheet of notes, found nothing, no value. The books, sometimes they do their job right, especially on a money line, right? Well, This morning though, I'm like, there is a couple new series going on Tuesday. Let's check it out. I about fell out of my chair when I saw this price. I'm going to go with the Twins minus 115 on the series price over the Diamondbacks. That's over at DraftKings right now. I think it's a few other books too. Should be around that 115 price. I don't get why they're not at least minus 140, minus 150. Simply because Arizona's been decimated by injuries, man. We've talked about it on a prior show. They lost Merrill Kelly with a shoulder injury. They lost their boy Zach Gallen with a hamstring injury. So that's their two. They're basically co-aces. Their number 1, number 2 guy, they're out. No telling how long. Twins starting rotation, one of my favorite in baseball. Love Joe Ryan. I've made a boatload of cash betting on Joe Ryan as far as over and his strikeouts. And I think I even tailed you a few times in his over and his outs prop. That's a good one. But he's going today. Feel really good about him today. Against the D-backs, he has a K rate 33.3%. Expected batting average allowed against Arizona, just 207. Love Joe Ryan. Throws 94 with good extension. Also has an 89-mile-an-hour split finger that is just plain dirty. Game 2, kind of a toss-up. They got the law firm going. The law firm, Simeon Woods Richardson, in Game 2 against Ryan Nelson. So even if the Twins lose Game 2, I still feel good about their chance in Game 3. Jordan Montgomery is going to be going for Arizona in Game 3. I typically like him, but he's been getting lit up this year. His ERA's in the 5s. Yep. Another little tidbit for you, Mr. Wade. Minnesota. I've kind of made fun of Minnesota's bats from time to time. I'm not going to lie, so I got to eat crow here. Minnesota, number 2 in WRC plus against left-handers. So they'll bring their bats for game 3.
Hey.
Really like Minnesota take 2 or 3 from Arizona. So that's the route we're going to go today for the freebie best bet. But yeah, check out the rest. Got that plays already watchbet.com, but got 5 props for today up over at bettersinsider.com. And one of them, Big Wade, is a walks prop because you've taught me how to bet on walks now. So see, you're just a giving guy, man. You've taught me all this stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, I love it, man. I see we got a comment from a viewer down here.
There
He's
you
got
go.
to feed the people. That's what Mike likes to say, man.
That's
so
what we JR appreciate you putting in. Yeah. JR's the man. Our first comment, dude. That's big time.
Yeah, man. No, it's appreciate that. Yeah, man, Jordan Montgomery, he's actually been one of my favorite pitchers to watch over the last couple of years. I'm not sure what's happened to him. He's been getting lit up like crazy. He's not going deep into games anymore. This is a fantastic look, especially I'm on Joe Ryan today. I'm hoping he can get it done. He's got a tough matchup against Fat, so this is a really good pitching duel. He's gone over 17.5 outs, I think. Maybe 9 of the last 10 games or something. He's really ripping these off too. So he's going deep every game. He's obviously solidified himself as a ace right now. So great series. I think I'm going to take this one with you though, because there's just the Twins obviously they still striking out a decent amount against good pitchers, but they're really starting to rake at the plate. They got Lewis back. He's just a game changer. He's been out all year and he comes back and he's just picked up right where he left off last year. So I love it. I absolutely love that look.
I appreciate it, man. How about yourself, brother? Don't hold out on us.
Obviously, I wanted to get back to that walk comment you said, because I know yesterday you cashed in on Tanner Beebe, man. I'm so upset I didn't take that with you. You mentioned it. I looked into it. It looked good. It's tough because that's one of those Orioles are either walking or they're not, and they don't walk a lot. They have a low walk rate.
Yeah,
but some of these pitchers, if you've got a steady pitcher, and he's just been so good lately,
he's been fantastic.
Dialed in. That was a perfect play today. Play yesterday. Good odds too. I believe it was actually favored to go over. So
I got it at -105. I think it closed around -130. Most books. So
okay.
We got CLV.
Okay.
It was a weird deal where it's like, I'm old school, man. I do 8th grade math on a lot of my stuff. And so I saw where Bibby's, is it Bibby or Bobby? I don't know, it doesn't matter. But his median was 1. His median walk was 1. And so I'm like, okay, they're setting this at 1.5. Well, I figured it'd be 1.5, like -180 or something, something where I wouldn't play it, wouldn't want to play it because of juice. So when I saw -105, I'm like, well, wait a minute, his median's 1. And then Baltimore, they don't really walk a lot. Really, the only guy that walks a lot's Gunnar Henderson, And I'm like, interesting. So that's just kind of how I looked at it. You're the one that's actually, got me into walks. So, I mean, I was pumped just to, be able to understand, kind of what you look for. And that's kind of helped get me in. I got another one up today. I don't feel as good about it, but.
I mean, he's one of those pitchers I looked into, and he gets like 1 walk a game. So then that's where you kind of gauge where's the risk. And you took the right side, especially you found a good one that had better odds on the under for closer to plus money. And when I looked at it yesterday, it was like -110. So I didn't know it closed at 130. So you got a lot of great value on that, man. That's a fantastic play. I love that you're starting to dabble into that market. I wouldn't say don't go too deep in it, because last year I swear we probably hit 70% of our walk props last year. We're nowhere near that this year. It's just walks have gone a little wonky this year. Obviously, we don't have some of our best pitchers to go anymore, like George Kirby and stuff. So we're starting to pick at pitchers we really don't do a lot. So we've been testing the market a little bit more, and I think walks is just better to pick your spots like you did yesterday. So good one by you,
brother. I appreciate it.
Man. Look, the one I'm gonna give out today. I actually didn't sleep last night. I was up pretty late doing this. As you can see on Discord, I was giving out picks. My first pick I gave out at 1:25 in the morning, and then the last pick I gave out in the morning was it like 4:46. And then I took a little snoozer and gave a couple more picks around 11 o'clock. So,
that right there is why everybody should pay $15 a month for your service, Wade. I mean, that right there. You basically you nailed it. You put in 4 or 5 hours of work in the wee hours of the morning where everybody else, me included, was sleeping soundly. There you go. But that's why you get the lines you do. That's why you get the value you do with your closing line value. I think it's a big reason why you've been so successful. Obviously, you know what you're doing. You know the right stats to look at. You know how to research, but you also aren't afraid to work when others are asleep inside.
Yeah.
Love it.
I appreciate that. I mean, I don't do it every day because it gets pretty tiring. Like I'm actually pretty tired today. I had to take a little nap there. That's why we're going a little later today. I ended up sleeping from, I don't know what, it was like 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I slept for a little bit.
Got to.
But man, when I saw this line, I actually had to seriously, because I went out last night, had a couple drinks with Eric on ETOF 21 Sports.
Hey,
Don't usually drink. So we were watching the hockey game, the college baseball game. I'm laying in bed last night. I see this line. I actually had to wake up my wife, and I was like, "Am I drunk, or is this line real? Because I don't believe this. I really don't. This could be a trap. Look, if this misses, it is what it is. But we're gonna go with Seth Lugo under 2.5 earned runs against the Miami Marlins.
Come on.
It was -104. Usually this line under 2.5 for him is like -160, and they're giving us almost plus money against one of the worst hitting teams in baseball.
Makes no sense.
Listen, he's under in 13 of 15 games this year. He's under in 5 of 7 at home. His median on the road and at home is between 1.5 and 2. So no matter where he's at, his median's under this line. He allowed 0 last season at home against basically the same Marlins team, except they've added like Tim Anderson, who's actually hitting worse than probably who they had last year, because the Marlins were a better hitting team last year than they are this year. If you remember, they made the playoffs.
Yep. Right.
They're ranked 27th last 15 and full season in WRC plus, and they're ranked 29th last 15 and full season in on-base percentage versus right-hand pitcher. I mean, that's bottom 4 in the league in both of those categories. They have 2 players, one that's batting 200 and one that's batting 143 versus Lugo. Everybody else is either has not got a hit off him yet, or they haven't seen him. Overall, against right-handed pitchers, they have 4 guys between 262 and 274, which isn't really that great. Everybody else is lower than that. I think the line is like this mainly because he's allowed 2 and 5 straight at home, and in 3 of those he did go over. But that was against the Yankees, the Brewers, and the Orioles. 3 teams that are far superior than the Marlins.
Those are superior offensive teams. We can't hold that against them, right?
Correct. And I know he pitches better off on the road. You want to talk about a road warrior. This guy's a road warrior. He'll give you 18 to 21 outs every single game on the road. And his unearned run average at home is a little bit higher than on the road. I believe his ERA is around 3, a little bit over than 3 at home, but obviously it's because he just faced the Yankees, the Orioles, and the Brewers. I just like this line. Marlins have stayed under 2 against 6 of the last 8 right-hand pitchers going against them. If this is a trap, but I'm sure this line has had to have moved somewhere north of -105, 104 now. There's no way it's still that.
Yeah, I actually just checked it for it's -120 now. But still, actually you can still find it -118 at BetMGM. If anybody wants to jump on that. Dude, I still love it at that. I think I'm going to take it with you at that because I'm with you, dude. That should be – why is that not -150?
It feels trappy. I feel like I don't know. It has to be recency on his home stuff, his home stats, home starts.
Still against this crappy Marlins lineup, I just don't know how he doesn't dominate. If you look at the money line, it's a game. So Kansas City's -200 on the money line to win this game. So obviously they expect the Royals to dominate. They expect a good outing from Lugo. So why do they? I just don't. It's strange, man.
This is one of those that's like it's a trap or it's not, and we're about to fall into it or we're not. So we'll ride with it. I'm fine with it.
I think it's a mistake on the book's part, not a trap. Yeah, hey, I've been wrong before. I mean, when you're in the gambling business, you get used to being wrong. I joke with people, hey, I'm usually wrong about 44% of the time. Yeah, so
correct. A lot.
But dude, I love the play. I think it's outstanding.
Yeah, and today's one of those days, man, that this might be one of the most stacked starting pitching days I've ever seen. We're on 7 plays today. I've been really trying to stay around 4 to 5. I told myself 7 was going to be the max because usually when we go over that, it just tends to be break even or barely profit or usually go negative. Just stuff goes wrong. I could easily be on 20 plays today. No joke. Every single starting pitcher is going great. I mean, there's a lot of plays that we're leaving on the board, a lot of outs plays. I even took I'm probably going to post it out to Twitter, but I put like 6 or 7 guys together that I liked that I didn't touch and put them all on a parlay on FanDuel, and I'm going to give away a couple free memberships and $20 to somebody random if this thing cashes, but it's like almost plus 2,300 odds. So we'll see. I did a little sprinkle on there. Hopefully to bless somebody out there if we can win that today. Yeah, if you guys make sure you guys go check out bettersinsider.com, eatwatchbet.com. You guys will get free daily article picks from all different types of writers, different sports. Obviously, baseball is the biggest thing going on right now with hockey just ending. No NBA. I'm assuming WNBA articles are going to start popping up a little bit more because that's actually getting pretty popular now with some of the girls that came into the league. We got baseball articles every day. We'll have some golf, UFC stuff still coming in. So, yeah, make sure you guys go check out those sites. It's free. You guys need to sign up for any sports books. Make sure you guys go to eatwatchbet.com first. Check out what kind of deals they have for your state. You never know. They make match you $500 to deposit $500 or $250 and $250. They always change these things up, so make sure you stay on top of that if you guys want to deposit some new money into a new book. Yeah, man, it's been a really good show today.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the shout out to both websites. We're blessed to have you on the team now. Wade's writing for us, UFC, golf, and some baseball, doing a daily free pick over at eatwatchbet.com. Y'all can pick that out up over there. Just head on over to the site. It's listed there. Nice little prop that I like as well. Dude, I just looked Wade up on X. All right, he's up 92.34 units this year. We're not even halfway through the year yet, guys. That is insane.
I'm not trying to jinx it, but I'm really pushing for that 100 units at the half mark.
I like it. That's what we're talking about. And y'all, the best part is you can ride with it. You can ride with Wade, and it's not expensive. It's literally comes out to like 50 cents a day or something like that. Why wouldn't you give him a shot? Does a 7-day free trial. Okay. And You just heard the man. He's up at midnight. He was working from midnight to 4 for y'all. Dear Lord. I mean, it's not asking for a ton of money. This is like a tip. This is like a tip after you win a big game. Hey, thanks for the help. Thanks for the info. He's keeping it affordable, really, just out of the goodness of his heart. He could easily charge $100 a month if he wanted to, but he wants to help more people, and he wants to help people that maybe are just starting out, don't have a huge sports betting bankroll, which, hey, I highly respect it, man. That's how I started. I started out betting $2 a game 20-something years ago. I understand. But yeah, if you didn't, just give Wade a shot, man. That's all I'm saying. I've learned a ton from him just by doing the show. His Discord's worth $15 a month, even without any picks, honestly. Just for the amount of info you get, the news you get, all that stuff. But check him out. At least sign up for the 7-day free trial. Count your cash at the end of it, and then you'll be up so much money you'll be able to pay for like a full year in advance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the goal is to make this thing cheap enough that usually after a week or maybe just a few days, you're able to cover that subscription for the whole month. So that's always the goal. Fun fact: I've got a couple people in Discord right now that are newbies. They're asking me all sorts of stuff. They're saying they have $500. Where do I deposit? How do I manage this? So I'm working with a couple guys in there, trying to help them get their foot started, help them not lose money. I have the deal going on right now. If you guys sign up before July 1st, you will be grandfathered in at $15 forever. Obviously, as long as you stay a member. If you leave and come back later, that may change. But most of my members that have been with me for a long time, they're going to be grandfathered in at $15. I'm debating moving it back up. I kind of wanted to do a little promo during baseball season to help people get into it, because I know some people just like to bet on NFL and the other bigger sports. I'm trying to help get people more interested in baseball. And also, if you check out X every day, I'm always running a giveaway right now. So what I'm doing is I usually have that as my pinned tweet.
There you go.
I'm doing a $50 cash giveaway every day. I put out a pitcher prop sheet. I give you 4 picks. You can use those as you wish. Some of them are straightable, where you can play them as straights. Some of them I'm giving alt lines just to give the thing a better chance of hitting. So if you see an alt line on there, you can use that to pair with something else to bring the juice down. And the goal is to sweep the 4 picks on that. And if we sweep that, I plan to give one random person on X who follows me, likes, and retweets that post, I'm going to give away $50. So I believe 4 of the last 6 days we've missed this thing by 1 pick.
Oh,
so
always one. It's always one on parlay. Yeah,
we're due though. So we're due. We got on the sheet today, we have Seth Lugo under 2.5 earned runs. I've got Ronaldo Lopez under 2.5 earned runs.
Oh yeah, I love Ronaldo.
Yeah. I've got Zach Little under 1.5 walks, and I've got Hunter Green over 4.5 Ks. Now all of those are straightable except Hunter Green. I think over 4.5 Ks is like minus 300. So you put that with something juicier, and that'll be a nice little 2-man for you. Hunter Green's hit 5+ strikeouts in every game against the Pirates, and he's hit it in 19 of the last 20. So it's one of those solid plays that he should hit. I know there's some weather going on in Cincinnati, so there may be a delay, and possibly that may go in the middle of the game that could ruin a strikeout prop today. So we'll see. I gave that out before I paid attention to my weatherman on X that does a pretty good job of talking about the baseball games and what his worry is on what games today. And obviously he popped up with Cincinnati's his biggest worry today. So he's even expecting maybe a postponement in this game. So I'd rather take that than they stop this game in the 3rd inning where he's got 3 strikeouts. So
definitely, man.
We'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, come check us out. Obviously, go check out Mike at Mike Noblin on X. He's always putting out free articles, posting everybody's free articles for the website, so you can get all the free bets there if you always forget what websites to go to. So
that's it.
Yeah, man, just let's keep feeding the people. Let's keep rocking this thing, because baseball is really starting to go really well for both of us, and we're starting to turn into that mode here where I think things are starting to click now. So we're profitable, I think, like 6 or 7 the last 8 or 9 days. So we're starting to tick up here.
Yeah, Wade's on another heater, as he typically is. So just check him out while you can, guys. We're getting the dog days of summer here. Really, the baseball's the main actionable sport. So there's really no better time than to sign up for Wade service, just because, July and August, the main action is baseball. Obviously, when September rolls around, folks will be more excited about college football and the NFL. But hey, this is our prime time for 2 seam heads like us. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell somebody about the show. We're trying to get this going. This is our 20th episode. We're going to keep rolling. It's our first year doing this, but we just want to help people win, man. There's more and more sports bettors coming into the market each and every day. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help you win. So follow us. Sign up for Wade service and hit us up anytime online with questions or comments, whatever, good, bad, or ugly. That's what we're here for.
Yep. You guys have a blessed day. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys on Friday.
Be good. Thanks, buddy.